The hotel receptionist slid my room key back. Book somewhere else tonight. Trust me. Her voice was barely above a whisper, her eyes darting toward the security cameras overhead before settling back on me with desperate intensity. I'd just driven 6 hours to get here. It was 11 p.m., and I was exhausted from a work conference that had drained every ounce of energy I had left. Now this young woman, maybe 25, with a name tag that read Becca, was telling me to leave the 4-star hotel I'd prepaid for. I'm sorry, what? I said, thinking I'd misheard her. She leaned forward slightly, her manicured nails tapping the counter in what seemed like nervous energy. Room 412. That's where they put you, right? Don't stay there. Book literally anywhere else. Even the motel down the street, just not here. Not tonight. My first thought was bed bugs, or maybe a plumbing issue they didn't want to comp me for. Is there a problem with the room? I can take a different one. Becca glanced over her shoulder toward the back office where I could hear someone talking on the phone, then back at me. There are no other rooms. We're fully booked. That's why they gave you 412. She said the number like it meant something, like I should understand the significance. When I didn't react, she added, "You're the 6th person in 3 months. They always put people in 412 when we're full, and they always..." She stopped abruptly as a man in a manager's uniform emerged from the office. "Is everything all right, Becca?" he asked, his tone friendly, but his eyes sharp as they moved between us. She straightened immediately, her professional smile snapping into place. "Just finishing up this check-in, Mr. Vance. The guest had some questions about amenities." Mr. Vance walked over and looked at my reservation on the computer screen. "Ah, Mr. Harrison, welcome to the Riverside Grand. I see we've put you in one of our premium rooms on the 4th floor. You'll love the view." He extended his hand, and I shook it automatically, still trying to process what Becca had started to say. The 6th person in 3 months. They always what? Mr. Vance kept talking about the hotel's features, the breakfast buffet, the fitness center, but I noticed Becca had gone completely still, staring at her computer screen like she was trying to disappear into it. "Well, I'll let you get settled," Mr. Vance said finally. "Becca will finish your check-in. If you need anything at all during your stay, don't hesitate to call the front desk." He returned to the office, and the second he was out of earshot, Becca grabbed a piece of paper and started writing quickly. She folded it and slid it across with my room key. "Checkout is at 11 a.m. Have a pleasant stay," she said loudly for the cameras, but her eyes were begging me to read the note. I took the key and the note, thanked her, and walked toward the elevator, my heart beating faster than it should have been for such a simple interaction. Once I was in the elevator alone, I unfolded the paper. The handwriting was shaky, but clear. 412 isn't safe. Guest in March disappeared. Guest in April found unconscious. Claims no memory of 3 days. Guest in May checked out after 1 night. Filed police report, but nothing came of it. I tried to tell my boss, but he said I was being dramatic. "Whatever you do, don't drink anything from the minibar, and lock your door from the inside with the security bar. Please believe me." I read it 3 times as the elevator climbed to the 4th floor. This was insane. This was the plot of a bad horror movie. But Becca's face kept flashing through my mind, the genuine fear in her expression, the way she'd risked her job to warn me. The elevator doors opened onto a long hallway with burgundy carpet and cream-colored walls. Classical music played softly from hidden speakers. Everything looked expensive and normal, and nothing like a place where guests disappeared. Room 412 was at the end of the hall, the last door on the right. I stood outside it for a moment, the key card in my hand, trying to decide what to do. The logical thing was to ignore a dramatic hotel employee and get some sleep. I had a flight at 7 a.m. and I needed rest. But the illogical part of me, the part that had watched too many true crime documentaries, couldn't stop thinking about those other guests. What had happened to the person in March who disappeared? Where did they go? I unlocked the door and stepped inside, immediately hitting the light switch. The room was exactly what you'd expect from a nice hotel. King bed with crisp white linens, sitting area with a leather chair, desk with hotel information binders, bathroom with marble counters. A large window overlooked the river, city lights reflecting off the dark water. Nothing threatening, nothing unusual. I locked the door and engaged the security bar like Becca had suggested, feeling stupid but doing it anyway. Then I walked around the room, checking the closet, under the bed, behind the shower curtain, feeling even more stupid but needing to be sure. Everything was empty. Everything was normal. Maybe Becca was just a conspiracy theorist with an overactive imagination. Maybe I was exhausted and paranoid for no reason. I changed into sleep clothes, set my alarm for 5 a.m. and got into bed. That's when I heard it. A soft clicking sound, like a door lock disengaging. I sat up, my heart hammering, staring at my door. I got out of bed and walked to the door, pressing my ear against it. Footsteps in the hallway, slow and deliberate. Someone was walking past the rooms, stopping at each door. I heard the clicking sound again, closer now, at the door next to mine, then at my door. The handle moved down slightly, testing it, but the security bar held. I stood frozen at the door, listening to them work their way down the hallway, checking every single door. When the footsteps finally faded, I ran to the window and looked down at the parking lot. A man in maintenance uniform was walking toward a service van, carrying what looked like a tool bag. I grabbed my phone and called the front desk. It rang 6 times before Becca answered, sounding strained. "Riverside Grand, how can I help you? This is room 412. Someone just tried to get into my room." There was a long pause. "What do you mean, tried to get in?" "Someone walked down the hallway checking all the door handles. They tested mine, but the security bar stopped them." Another pause, longer this time. "Sir, our maintenance staff doesn't work at this hour." Full story on my channel and linked below.